Gets back into full swing on your home of the Cardinals. Rockies, Cardinals on FSN Midwest.
Returning for the 7th season, it's the Hyundai Long Drive Inning. Your chance to win a 2008 Hyundai Sonata begins April 28th at your St. Louis area Hyundai dealers. We hope you take advantage of that and register today. And we thank Hyundai for being a part of Cardinal baseball again this year. Taylor Buchholz, we saw him with the Houston Astros. 41 games last season, a record of 6-5, 20 walks, 61 strikeouts, ERA that was over 4.
He was part of the Jason Jennings trade, came over with Tavares from Houston. Tyler LaRussa's got Franklin, his 8th inning man, warming up. You saw Izzy kind of loosening up in the bullpen. And let's see if the Cardinals can't pad the lead as Troy Glaus is looking for his first hit. Only 8 hits in this game, 4 by each team.
Cool night here at Busch Stadium. Game time temperature in the mid-40s. Glaus has fly to right, and he has struck out. Shin-Main Wong gets his first win of the season. The Yankees beat the Blue Jays 3-2. Cabrera with a solo home run in that game. Alex Rodriguez with an RBI. David Eckstein for the Blue Jays 0 for 4 in his debut in the American League with Toronto. And Scott Rolen's going to miss possibly 2 months of the season, they're saying now, with that broken finger. The man that replaced him is at the plate.
It went from 3 weeks to 6 weeks to possibly 8, huh, on that finger?
Apparently it tore off his fingernail.
And then broke the tip.
Right.
Fractured it.
Ground ball right side. Diving stop by Helton. Buchholz over to cover at first. And that's the first out here in the Cardinals half of the 7th. As you mentioned, not many hits, but we're loving the long ball. The biggest of the night. Yadier Molina, his first of 2008. It just got over the wall.
That actually shows the strength of Molina on that ball up and in, where he really used his hands to muscle it. That was not a typical home run location.
Molina 1 for 2. He struck out his first time up. Firestone in-game box scores. We take a look. Not a lot of scoring. Cardinals with just that solo home run from Yadier Molina. The slim down Yadier Molina here in 08. He came to the Cardinals care event, the winter warm-up, and looked like a different guy. Signed his contract, was introduced, and you could definitely tell he had been working out and slimmed down.
I bet not winning the Gold Glove has motivated him.
Also less pressure on his knees too. We'll fly out here to Tavares at center. Suffered a little bit of a knee problem at the end of last season. Took care of that in the offseason and wanted to take the weight off, and he has. This April, Fox Saturday Baseball begins on opening weekend. The Mets battle the Braves, the White Sox and the Tigers, or the Dodgers and the Padres. Fox Saturday Baseball, the game of the week, returns this Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, in high definition, only on Fox. With 2 outs, here's Kennedy, 1 for 2 tonight. Mets are trying to make it 2 wins in a row as Kennedy shows bunt. They lead 4-3, top of the 9th.
No, but Luis Gonzalez just hit a home run to tie that game up. How about that? He's older than 2 of the coaches. And his rookie season.
There's a base hit for Kennedy and a 2-hit night.
That's what Adam needs to kind of forget about last year. But Luis Gonzalez's rookie roommate is Manny Acta, the manager of the Nationals, and he's also got 2 coaches on the Florida Marlins team that he's older than.
Luis Gonzalez, the former Diamondback. That Luis Gonzalez.
Right, that Luis Gonzalez, and happy to see him. Here's Brian Barton making his Major League debut. The Rule 5 pickup from the Cleveland Indians organization.
He was so excited when he got the news that he called his mom at 4 in the morning to tell her that he had made the Cardinals opening day roster.
So that was about 7 o'clock in the morning for him on the East Coast, his mom on the West Coast.
And yet he played prior to
Miami?
this. Yeah, he played at Miami in college.
Aeronautical engineer at the University of Miami. Very smart young man. He's having the time of his life, but he made this team for what he did on the field, not because he's a Rule 5 must stay.
Barton, ground ball in the hole and a base hit. His first ever in the major leagues. Brian Barton reaches.
Now he's got a souvenir. He had the video camera working on the going around the field in the convertible, and now he's got his first major league hit. He's got very good speed, and Tulowitzki kind of compounds the problem as he deflects this ball. That allowed Kennedy to go to third base. So with 2 outs, runners at the corners.
I love seeing him smile, pump his fist. Why not show the emotion of all the hard work?
I mean, that's what it's all about. Is show everybody that you know this is what it's all about. That you're happy. That's what fans want to see.
Absolutely.
They don't want to see somebody showing somebody up, but that's just pure emotion.
One thing about Barton, he's got great speed. He stands at first base. This is Cesar Torres. And over at third, it's Adam Kennedy. Cardinals could use some insurance here, up by a run here in the 7th. And the pitch is a strike as Torres has flied to left and grounded out to second. By the way, in that Mets game, Pedro Martinez left after only 3 1/3 with a strained hamstring.
Oh.
That's all they need.
Boy, it looked like on that first delivery, Buchholz very slow to the plate, kind of lifted up the leg, and that might have been an indication. Clint Hurdle might have seen that too and said, with Taveras not a real strong hitter up here, maybe you try to get an errant throw, steal a run.
Buchholz came over with Taveras and Jason Hirsch for Jason Jennings and Miguel Vicencio. That Houston deal. Breaking ball taken a little low. 1-1 the count with 2 outs and 2 runners on.
Good to see Barton not fooled by that fake to third, throw to first.
One ball, one strike. It's Torres, late swing, 1-2.
Good slider.
Buchholz from Lower Marion, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb just outside of Philadelphia. Was selected in the 6th round in 2000 by his hometown Phillies.
See what kind of jump Barton gets this time. Now that there are 2 strikes on this Torres.
Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Gets a great jump. Swing and a miss is Torres. A late swing again and strikes out to end the 7th. The Cardinals strand 2. Barton gets his first major league hit.
Now, see, when people think of Geico, right, they think of car insurance. And of course, saving money. But sometimes that can lead even the savviest driver astray. Take, for example, the motorcycle owner. He calls Geico wanting to save money on his car insurance, only to realise that he doesn't actually own a car. Well, needless to say, he's quite embarrassed, isn't he? Doesn't matter. Geico insures motorcycles and ATVs as well. That way, no one ends up looking foolish.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Now is the time. Here is the place. And this is the deal. For a limited time, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months on all full-size Chevy trucks. That's 0% APR on Chevy Silverado, Avalanche, Suburban, and Tahoe. Offer ends March 31st.
See for yourself. Shop and compare at stlchevy.com.
It's not gonna last.
What?
Trust me, it'll be over like that.
How dare you?
Sorry, but it's not gonna last.
What?
For a limited time, get Jack's Classic Ultimate Cheeseburger for just $1.99. Come in soon because it definitely will not last.
Not over!
No,
It's gonna last
it's over when I say it's over! Oh.
You're watching FSN Midwest, where Cardinals fans come first.
Well, the Cardinals have out-hit Colorado 6-4, and they lead it by the score of 1-0. This guy was outstanding a year ago, and that is Ryan Franklin. And he has come on to pitch the 8th inning and hopefully gets to Isringhausen in the 9th with a lead. Cardinals lead it thanks to Yadier Molina's solo home run, and it's 1-0 St. Louis. Numbers for Franklin last year: 69 games, 4-4 record. And one of the biggest surprises really for the Cardinals, when they signed him, they weren't sure whether he would be a reliever or a starter. He wanted to be a starter, but found a home out there in the bullpen, and he was outstanding. An opener is not like any other game, our Geico quote. There's that little extra excitement, a faster beating of the heart. You know that when you win the first one, you can't lose them all. Early win, Hall of Famer, and our Geico quote.
Yeah, early win probably wouldn't have liked the way some of the modern hitters dig in, trying to get a foothold in the batter's box.
Here's Tulowitzki, a line drive and a base hit into right center field. On base for the 4th time tonight, 3 hits, a pair of singles, a double, and a walk for Troy Tulowitzki, picking up right where he left off a year ago. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals.
That slider up in the zone right over the middle of the plate.
Well, this is where you earn your money, Mr. Raboski. If you're Ryan Franklin, the heart of the order, 1-run lead late in the ballgame.
Absolutely, but you also know that you make one good pitch and you can erase that single with a double play ball. But you respect the heart of the order because these guys can produce.
Helton with a base hit tonight. A single back in the 3rd. He has popped out to Pujols at first and also grounded out against Franklin. 1 for 3 in his career. Cardinals trying to hold on for Kyle Loge, who went 5 innings tonight. We've seen McClellan, Springer, and now Franklin. The 1-1 pitch. Hammered down the right field line. That could be trouble. It is a fair ball.
Catch a break because the ground rule double.
So one hops over the wall. Tulowitzki will go back to 3rd, and here come the Rockies. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And you've got the league leader from a year ago at RBI set to dig in, and Matt Holliday. So ground rule double. They catch a break because Tulowitzki is back at 3rd. He would have scored easily.
Another a ball right in the middle of the plate, belt high, and belted into the right field corner. And there's the Cardinal break as it ground rule double. So they do not score Tulowitzki. He has to go back to 3rd base, and Dave Duncan just could come out and say, hey, you're fine, but it's just your location. You're getting beat on pitches just up over the middle of the plate instead of burying those pitches down and away or in on the hands.
Remember yesterday, Holliday in the 1st inning came up with runners at 2nd and 3rd. And I remember you saying not the worst thing to see this guy get first base.
Right. I mean, You know, right now you need to strike out, to pop up on the infield. But this is a monster hitter. There's a good pitch in on the hands. Got to look like he got a piece of Molina on the foul tip.
Franklin throws about 5 different pitches.
He's cut it down to 5.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes.
About 7 before, I guess, right?
Yeah. Got a good split finger.
The 0-1 pitch. This is in. 1 ball, 1 strike. This Rockies team went 39-42 last year on the road. They had 70 wins against right-handed pitching.
No, they got, you know, terrific balance. A lot of clutch hitters from their left side.
2-1.
And
Molina set up a foot outside on that pitch.
I mean, you kind of see that Molina was going to make sure that if he threw that slider, it was not going to be in the middle of the plate when it finished up. Randy Flores now warming up. That would be for Hop.
2 balls, 1 strike on Matt Holliday. Hit .340 a year ago. The 2-1. Good pitch.
See the difference of the 2 base hits that were the same pitch that are up over in the middle of the plate, and this one how you finish off the slider. He starts it almost middle half, and then it breaks down and away out of the strike zone, getting a tremendous offensive player to look feeble at a swing.
The 2-2. Well, one of the biggest pitches in this game coming up right here.
And you almost sit there. Now you sit there and you say, okay, I'm going to make that great slider. Either he swings at it or you walk and load the bases and get a force out and all. They're going inside on it.
The 3-2 hit out of play.
And left it totally out over the plate, but it was 93 miles an hour and he couldn't center it. Supposed to be inside, and that ball was out over the outside part of the plate.
Tony La Russa's been doing this for 30 years.
That surprised me. I like to see guys pitch inside because that hitter's looking, but it's almost so predictable that we go away.
Tight, anxious moments like this one. The 3-2 tap slowly to third. Klaus has a play to the plate, throw it away, and the game is tied. And still nobody out.
That's a real tough play for Molina. You got the body coming down the line. That throw sidearm's going to you get screened. You don't see it. It has a tendency when you throw it sidearm that it's going to sail. And you're trying to nail the plate. Little bleeder right here. You got the big guy you expect for power, and he hits a little 50-footer. Throw it sidearm, you see how that just kind of, you know, it sails in on Molina. And he's looking for a perfect throw. Remember, he has to tag. It's not a force play, so he's going to have to make a tag. And he got screened as throwing a sidearm. All of a sudden, he lost that ball into the runner.
And here is Garrett Atkins, and the game is brand new, tied up at 1-1. Nobody out here in the 8th. And runners at first and third. An air charge to Troy Glaus. Last season, the first time since '99, the Cardinals did not have a Gold Glove winner. Atkins on the night is 0 for 3. He's fly to right, fly to left. Last time up, he flied to center. Flores still getting loose in the bullpen. Two balls and no strikes. Pujols holding over at first. Glaus will take a step or two in and be even with the bag at third. Outfield is straight away.
When Ryan has gotten that pitch and kept it out of the strike zone, it's been effective. Just a swinging bunt ties this ball game.
The 2-1 pitch. Check swing. And he did not go. Looking ahead for the Cardinals. Bottom of the 8th, they'll have the top of the lineup. Schumacher, Duncan, and Pujols. What will the score be then? Ball 4. And the bases are loaded. Well, we've talked about it, so much in Major League Baseball. Every team is looking for that middle relief and the guys that can either be extended long or whatever the case may be to get you to this point. And Franklin struggles here in this 8th inning. He faces 4 batters and all 4 reach. So that's going to be it for Ryan Franklin. Randy Flores trots in from the bullpen. Nobody out. 1-1 game with the bases loaded here in the top of the 8th.
Go high. That's what we needed to see. Time, your boy's asleep at the wheel.
Hey guys, who wants some fresh biscuits?
Guys, don't bake. Made from scratch chicken biscuits. We bake them fresh so you don't have to. New at Hardee's.
If you want to get rid of your gray hair, try my hair color. It's really easy.
Women's hair color can take 30 minutes. Just for men takes 5 minutes.
No one will notice.
Her colors every hair. Just for men targets only gray.
It has ammonia, but it doesn't smell that bad.
Oh yes, it does. Just for men has no damaging ammonia.
Let's go buy some. It'll only take half an
Stay in the game.
Now is the time. Here is the place. And this is the truck. Chevy Silverado Half-Ton. The full-size pickup available with best-in-class 4x4 fuel economy. Well-qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 60 months for an average finance savings of $57.16 on an 08 Silverado Half-Ton model. Shop Chevy now.
See for yourself. Shop and compare at stlchevy.com.
Cardinals baseball on FSN Midwest is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light. And by Chevrolet. See for yourself. Shop and compare at stlchevy.com. Beautiful night. Cold and chilly, though, here in downtown St. Louis. The banks of the Mississippi, a 1-1 game. And Randy Flores comes in. His first appearance, a tough one. Bases loaded and nobody out. 70 games last year for the Cardinal left-hander. He's in year 2 of his 2-year extension. Went 3-0 last season.
His 5th year with the Cardinals. Kind of asking him to, be more of a left-handed specialist. And that really, he's a lefty that has more success against right-handed pitchers. But he has the ability, he just needs to concentrate on getting that breaking ball consistently away from him. Bases are loaded and nobody out in a 1-1 game.
We saw those numbers. Terrific for Brad Hopp with the bases loaded. He has struck out twice and grounded out.
Last season, according to Bill James, Hopp was Major League's clutch hitter of the year. Did most of his damage with 2 outs.
The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Flores, though, with very good numbers against this left-handed batter.
Oh, yeah, 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts. And you saw the first pitch, the fastball in on the hands, tying him up, and then effectively throwing that slider down and away. Not going to dive across the plate after that fastball in.
Struck him out.
Nice going, Randy.
Now you're a double play away from getting out of the inning.
Fastball in, set up the 2 sliders away. The breaking ball's down and away. Excellent pitch. Only way a lefty's going to hit that is if he steps across the plate, drives the ball to the opposite field. But the fastball inside got his attention, and he's not going to go out there.
Yorvi Torrealba singled back in the 7th off of Russ Springer. He's 0 for 1 against Flores, and a double play candidate certainly here. Does not run well. He's also flied out to right and grounded out to third.
See, this is where I said Randy really has a lot of success against right-handers. So this is why you don't feel like you have to go to another righty. Tyler Johnson was supposed to be the situational lefty. Ron Vallone, who was really kind of a spot starter, long man, but yet he has had success throughout his career keeping left-handers down, will be the more situational man.
1-0 pitch. And Torey Alba looks back at our home plate umpire, and I thought the first pitch was better than that one.
Makeup call maybe, but you know, sometimes the success for a lefty is, can he get in? Can he throw to the other side of the plate? You know, he's left-handed, so can he come in on a right-handed batter? Got that breaking ball. He was more of a curve ball, where the slider to the lefty, and more of a curve ball to the right-handed hitters.
1-2 the count. Bases loaded in a 1-1 game here in the 8th. The next two, Torey Alba. Good play by Molina to keep it in front. 2-2.
Dan, you can't emphasize enough how important it is for a pitcher to know that with a man on third, you can throw a ball in the dirt and know that it will be blocked. And that was a real tough chance there for Yachty. Gets away a little bit, but still that ability to block that ball with a runner at third is so important.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Number 2 in the inning for Randy Flores. How about this job? One away from getting out of the jam.
And how about that? Torey Alba is going to be seeing that pitch in sleep. Look at him swing, totally fooled, ball bouncing a foot in front of the plate, and yet totally fooled swinging at the pitch. And another blocked by Molina.
And so here it is, the rookie Jason Nix, a chance in his first major league game to be the hero.
It's a guy they wanted to win the job in spring training. They knew he could handle the job defensively, but would he hit enough? And that's coming from a guy that hit just under 300 at AAA.
2 outs, bases loaded, and ball 1. Nix tonight is struck out, walked, and flied out. That's Todd Helton standing there over at third. He doubled in this inning. Holiday reached on the air. That scored Tulowitzki. And then Atkins would walk. That was it for Ryan Franklin. Then Flores came in with the bases loaded, nobody out, and he's gotten 2 strikeouts. The 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. He must have some pretty good action on this breaking ball.
That's it, Dan, and that's a very good point, because a lot of times, you know, you just watch how major league hitters, how bad swings they're taking, and that'll tell you how, you know, that obviously there's something they're not seeing in that delivery. They're not picking up the ball.
The 1-1 pitch. Randy can get out of this jam. This crowd will erupt.
The only bad thing is, and Jason Nix may be trying to prove the point here, is they're swinging at pitches that are, the bottom's falling out and it's in the dirt. If you don't swing, it's not a strike.
The 2-1. Oh. So big pitch here. Nix can be selective, ahead in the count with 3 balls and 1 strike.
Pretty close, but it looks like it ends up a little bit inside. Now do you have that luxury that you can throw a pitch that's not a strike?
And he walked him. He walked him, and the Rockies lead it 2-1. Bases loaded walk with 2 outs, and Flores was an out away from getting out of the bases loaded jam. And it is quiet here at Busch Stadium. 2-1 Colorado. Jeff Baker will be the pinch hitter. Now you just have to minimize the damage, make sure you keep it a 1-run lead.
Baker was their best pinch hitter a year ago, including opening day when he hit a pinch hit home run.
So RBI for Jason Nix, his first at this level, to make it 2-1 Rockies. Cardinals with the top of their lineup coming up. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 2-1 Colorado. Fought off, and that's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Fastball in on the hands.
Big Cardinal fan Don Suntrup was hospitalized over the weekend and enjoying Cardinals baseball tonight. We wish him a speedy recovery. Want to see him down here at the ballpark.
Absolutely. On the horn down to the bullpen. Fuentes, lefty, warming up. Last year's closer at the beginning of the season, but ended up the setup man for Colorado.
Here's a 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cal Lowe's gave the Cardinals 5 innings. McClellan, his debut, scoreless frame. Springer, scoreless frame. Franklin, the rough outing to start 2008. Now Randy Flores. The 2-2 pitch. Little chopper. Glaus can just step on the bag. He will. The Rockies get 2. Coming up for the Cardinals, Schumacher, Duncan, and Albert Pujols. 2-1 Rockies.
It's a new day at your Jeep dealer, and there's no better time to get the new all Jeep Liberty, or even the first ever 4-door Jeep Wrangler. Get the best protection in the business, our lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited mileage, and get better value on Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited with a no extra charge navigation system. Plus, 0% financing for 60 months. But the Jeep New Day sales event won't last long, so you'd better hurry.
Before the race, behind the scenes, being in the middle of it all, NASCAR on speed. See it, feel it, live it, be there. Nobody covers NASCAR like NASCAR on speed. NASCAR on speed. Be there.
When I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, I also learned about its serious connection with cardiovascular disease. I knew I needed to make some major lifestyle changes that would help me manage my type 2 diabetes. These tips help me stay in the know. Keep active, normalize critical health numbers, opt for a healthy lifestyle, and work with a healthcare provider.
I'm Dr. Dan Jones, President of the American Heart Association. Please see your own healthcare provider, and for more information, visit iknowdiabetes.org.
The Jack in the Box game recap, 2-1 on opening day 2008. As the Rockies have a 1-run lead. That was Tulowitzki back in the first, robbing Chris Duncan. Kip Wells, the former Cardinal, getting the start, would go 5 1/3. Going yard was Yadier Molina, his first of 2008. The St. Louisan, Kyle McClellan, making his debut. He looked terrific. A scoreless frame. But problems. Last half inning, the air by Troy Glaus that tied it up. Then a bases loaded walk, and the Rockies, the defending National League champions, with a 2-1 lead. Schumacher, Duncan, and Pujols against Brian Fuentes. Lefty is on the Rockies opening day roster for the 6th straight year. When you think about the Rockies, you're trying to think, well, who are some of the all-stars that have been there for them? It's this
won.
guy.
Yeah. He's had 81 saves the last 3 years. He was the closer, got 20 last year, but then lost that job.
So an all-star in each of the last 3 seasons. First Rockies pitcher ever to be selected more than once, let alone 3 times.
Yeah, and with Tony putting Schumacher and Duncan back-to-back, 1-2 in the order, it really does a favor to Clint Hurdle and the Rockies.
Breaking ball that's grounded to Todd Helton. The all-time saves leader in Colorado Rockies history is former Cardinal.
Beers?
Jimenez.
Oh, that's right.
Jimenez, the sinker baller.
Yeah.
He had one of the greatest runs ever against Randy Johnson.
Yeah, that's right.
No hitter, one hitter.
Against Randy Johnson. I forgot. Jose
Jimenez, 102 saves.
Veers even asked Tony Russo about trying to make a comeback this year after having hip replacement surgery. And said, I'd love to help you, but we're pretty solid in that department.
Right side on the bullpen of the Cardinals was probably the toughest spot to make, and McClellan did it.
Well, yeah, the interesting thing is those were the last two spots available, and you're right about probably the toughest spot to lock up.
Duncan has walked and singled tonight and was robbed by Troy Tulowitzki in the first, and there's Albert Pujols waiting on deck. He is 1 for 4 against this left-hander in his career. Pujols with a single to left field back in the 6th. The 2-1 to Duncan. Slowly hit to the shortstop Tulowitzki, 2 down.
Fuentes, as I said, was a closer 3 consecutive years. They tried to move him all winter, had no takers, but he's accepted the setup man's role, and will be interesting. He might get the first save of the year.
Well, if you're Fuentes, I think Mr. Torrealba is saying, look, you got Pujols here, and you got a lefty-hand keel on deck, so you don't have to pitch to Albert here.
Well, and Torrealba just went out and said, if you want to stay in the Rockies, don't let Albert Pujols tie this game.
Great numbers, 7th inning or later for Albert Pujols, closing in on 300 home runs in his career. Homered yesterday, but that was washed away, along with the RBIs for Molina and Keel. It's popped up a mile high. Torrealba makes the catch, falling backwards, and we head to the 9th. Fuentes, good work. Cardinals go 1-2-3. 9th inning rolls in a 2-1 game when we come back.
Bud Light is brewed to give you everything you want in a beer. Never-ending refreshment, superior drinkability, and now the ability to talk to animals.
Hey there, boy. How was your day?
Sausages. 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 Please, sausages. 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 Sausage.
Okay.
Sausage.
Good talk.
Sausages.
The ability to talk to animals no longer available in Bud Light.
Sausage.
The endless refreshment, however, remains.
Bud Light keeps it coming.
What's on your mind, little buddy?
Mind your own business, chump.
Sausage.
It's a new day at your Chrysler dealer. And there's no better time to get Chrysler 300. Get the best protection in the business. Our lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited mileage. And get better value with no extra charge dual DVDs on Town & Country Signature Series. Or 0% financing for 60 months on Sebring Convertible, Pacifica, and Aspen. But the Chrysler New Day sales event won't last long, so you'd better hurry.
Everything okay, Carl?
I'm winning, right?
Yeah, but the other drivers think Aflac sponsorship's giving you an advantage.
Well, if you're sick and you can't work, Aflac pays cash fast to help keep you in the race.
I know, but they see it a little differently. I taught him that.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
People really, really want the Subway Big Philly Cheesesteak. Piled with tender Philly-style steak, loaded with double cheese, and then fresh toasted to really satisfy. So good, you'll beg for more. Pick one up today. Subway. Eat fresh.
There's Izzy, Jason Isringhausen, the Cardinals closer. Trailing, though, in this game 2-1 as we move to the top of the 9th. It was nice to see Isringhausen bounce back after having the hip surgery in 06, missing postseason play, to come back and put up those numbers a year ago. He was very, very good.
And we will expect that he will get milestone save number 300 during this season.
He's talked about that openly being an important milestone for him and wanting to do that here in St. Louis. You would figure most certainly have that shot.
And the incentive for Izzy this year is to pitch so effectively that he can get a new contract and eventually retire as a Cardinal. But the way he pitched last year, he might have a few more years in there.
Cardinals all-time saves leader with 205 coming into this season. He's had 530-plus save seasons with the Cardinals. Willie Taveras, top of the lineup for Colorado. Clint Hurdle said when you watch Taveras in batting practice, in his mind, as far as dropping down bunts and placing bunts, he says it reminds him of a guy like Rod Carew. Pretty high praise. He said, you know, he's a guy that you can count on to get that bunt down. Good play by Kennedy for the first out.
You think he would have made that play last year with that bum knee? I don't think so.
Well, we saw in spring, he just has a little bit more jump to his step, literally and figuratively too.
Yeah. Bat healthier. Couple hits tonight. Nice little running basket catch by Kennedy.
And super slow-mo. Here's Tulowitzki. Big night for him. On base 4 times. 2 singles, a double, and a walk. To his left, Cesar Torres over to Pujols for out number 2. One of the segments in our open was talking about the closers in the National League Central Division, and Isringhausen right at the top there. But again, you go back to Gagne and
Kerry Wood.
You just don't know. And I'm sure Lou Pinella's got a baby Kerry Wood along a little bit too with the arm problems that he's had. You know, the back-to-backs, the cold days at Wrigley, those kind of things.
And, you know, I mean, Cordero was outstanding move from Milwaukee to Cincinnati. That's going to be a big help. But remember, he was good at home, but mediocre on the road.
1-0 pitch. Pop foul and out of play by Todd Helton.
Houston trades Brad Lidge. They get Valverde, an outstanding closer from Arizona. But will they have enough leads for that to be such a difference?
Brandon Backey going for Houston tonight. They're in San Diego. That game in the bottom of the 3rd, there's no score. 2 balls and 1 strike. One of the better games on the schedule last night was Jake Peavy and Roy Oswalt.
Peavy was dealing. Cy Young Award winner in the National League from a year ago, playing the same way.
Astros had 4 hits, 2 and 2 on Todd Helton. Cardinals were 49-14 when Izzy appeared a year ago. Let's see if they can come back tonight. Down 2-1. The 2-2. Todd Helton gets that call, doesn't he?
Well, we saw one earlier for Pujols. So, you know, this guy's been around a long time. Career .330 hitters. They get the benefit of the doubt.
Pop foul out of play. Helton on the night. Couple of base hits. The key one, though, coming last inning, the double. Ground rule double. That set up the 2 runs that they would score in the inning. 2-1 Rockies.
3-2 pitch. What does Izzy go with? Didn't want the fastball away, the cutter.
Full count delivery. Here it comes. And Helton hits it high in the air down the right field line. He was ready for it, but pulls it foul.
That's Izzy's bread and butter pitch, but at times, you know, you almost, you know, and he's been so good with that pitch, but there's times when he throws that curveball. Try to backdoor the cutter. Throw it on the outer half.
And a 2-out walk to Todd Helton. On base for the 3rd time tonight. And it brings in Matt Holliday. One of the key plays in that 8th inning was the error by Troy Gloss and a slow hit ball from Matt Holliday. Finished second in the MVP balloting to Jimmy Rollins of the Phillies. You look at his numbers, and from a historical perspective, it was one of the great seasons ever. Hit 340 and leads the league in RBIs and leads the league in those two categories and doesn't win the MVP.
137 RBIs. Throw in 11 stolen bases.
Right.
Too. Time when, 11 stolen bases would have been what, a team high in the Cardinals. Just guessing. I don't think it'd be a high this year.
Oh, 1 pitch. We saw Izzy getting loose in the 8th. But at that time, we thought the Cardinals would have a lead. Instead, they trailed by a run. Rather methodical how he gets ready. The weighted ball out there and some of the stretching exercises that he puts himself through. He said he prefers the knuckle curve as far as his best pitch for movement, but it seems like 9 times out of 10 we see the cutter.
I mean, and that's a terrific neutralizing pitch, that knuckle curve, but ball's in love with the cutter at times.
1-2 pitch. Just got a piece. Looking ahead to the bottom of this inning, the Cardinals will have Ankiel, Glaus, and Molina.
See if they will send Fuentes out there to start the inning, lefty against lefty, or will they go to their Corpus, their closer, who's very capable of retiring left-handed batters also, but Clint Hurdle would like to have a little bit of insurance.
Rockies go with Aaron Cook tomorrow. Todd Wellemeyer will go for St. Louis, and we're on the air at 6 o'clock with the pregame show. 1-2 the count. Approach 10 o'clock here in St. Louis, and these fans have stuck around on a cold, chilly night here at Busch Stadium. All bundled up. But that's what you get in April.
Ron Valone throwing for the Cardinals now.
Got him. Caught him looking. Holliday spins around. He can't believe it. Has a word with our home plate umpire. Cardinals trail by a run as we move to the bottom of the 9th. Some big bets coming up.
FullTiltPoker.net presents the Aussie Millions Cash Game Invitational. Featuring the world's top players, putting their own money on the line.
You could get trapped.
With Australia's most exclusive casino playing host.
Oh, baby. He's got nothing.
The stage is set.
Can't win if you don't gamble.
For the ultimate Texas Hold'em showdown. FullTiltPoker.net presents the Aussie Millions Cash Game Invitational. Continues Saturday on FSN.
Before the race, behind the scenes, be in the middle of it all. NASCAR on speed. Are you ready to be there? See it, feel it, live it. Nobody covers NASCAR like NASCAR on speed. NASCAR on speed. Be there.
6 hits aside, and it's 2-1 Colorado as we move to the bottom of the 9th. And here is their closer, Manny Corpus.
Well, Dan, last season Fuentes went down to an arm injury on July the 7th. And Corpus came in, got his first shot at closing out a game. Took 16 pitches to strike out the side. And then the Rockies won every game that Manny appeared in from August 31st through the end of the regular season. 16 straight games. From Panama City, Panama.
He has closed before prior to last year. He had 19 saves at AA and finished up last year with 19 saves. His first appearance here of 08. 2-1 Colorado here in the ninth. Rick Ankiel has walked tonight. First pitch swinging away, slowly hit. Pelton has to hurry, flips to Corpus, and there's one pitch, one out. Little surprise that Clint Hurdle didn't stick with Fuentes to start this ninth inning with lefty-lefty matchup, but doesn't matter now as Corpus gets Rick Ankiel.
You know, they just don't do those things anymore, and you know you're not going to be wrong or second guessed either way. This is his closer. Fuentes is a setup man, even though you had the lefty up there, but a lot of these guys would prefer to start an inning. A lot of it happens too because a lot of the closers it's so easy to steal off of them.
Well, you know, Troy Glaus would love to atone for his error that led to a run that tied it up. He is struck out, grounded out, and flied out. Low strike.
I just looked at telephone, got a phone text message from Jim Edmonds. Watching the game in San Diego, wants to say hello to everybody. Nothing to be on the disabled list.
Yeah, nothing in one the count on Glaus.
Hi, Jimmy.
In October, Corpus became the youngest pitcher to earn 3 saves in a postseason series. Wrapped up each of the Rockies' wins, sweep of the Phillies in the division series. They would then sweep Arizona. The 1-1 pitch to Troy Glaus. Molina on deck. He has accounted for the only run. Solo home run by Yadier. The first run of this game back in the 5th. The 1-2 pitch. Just outside. One of the signings for Colorado during the offseason was Luis Vizcaíno to shore up their right side. They feel they've got a pretty good bullpen.
Yeah, they like their bullpen. They think they've helped themselves there. Need some veteran guys down there that can handle the stresses of Coors Field.
High fly ball into right. Hawp will back up a step or two, and he makes the catch. That's out number 2. Budweiser, great player of the game, the great American lager. Kyle McClellan, why not, as he makes his debut at the Cardinals, the St. Louis native.
3 out pitches in his successful 1-2-3. Game was 1-0 at that point and held it.
And it's up to Yadier Molina to extend this game. Corpus trying to have a 1-2-3 ninth. 2 outs and nobody on. It's a nasty pitch right there. Held up just enough for ball 1.
And a lot of the Latin players, just have sort of that rubber arm. They sling the ball. And when you do that, it's deceptive. Get away from that, just nice, straight, even motion where you show the hitter the release point. Ball gets on you a lot quicker.
Chance of Yachty here at the ballpark. 2 balls and no strikes. Adam Kennedy, who has a couple of hits, waits on deck.
Short arms the ball too, so playing very deep, no double defense. Don't let anything get over your head unless it leaves the ballpark.
Down the right field line, slices out of play and foul. Pat Paris and Ricky Horton standing by for the postgame show coming up. Take you inside the Cardinals clubhouse, and you also hear from manager Tony La Russa live. 2-1 the count on Molina. Yadier struck out his first time up, homered in the 5th. Flew out to center last time up.
The fastball away.
The 2-1 pitch.
Fastball in.
Yeah, dislocation completely, but fouled back for strike 2.
But it's okay if you miss, as long as you miss, on either corner. Don't leave it in the middle of the plate.
So the Cardinals on opening day down to their final strike, trailing 2-1 here in the 9th.
Well, let's have Molina get on there and have Kennedy get the game winner. Looks like the slider.
The 2-2 pitch. Molina pops it up. Shallow left center field. It's going to be put away by Taveras, and Colorado wins it 2-1 here on opening day. So 2-1 our final. Back to wrap things up in a moment here from Busch Stadium.